Good after morning, everyone. Welcome into twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham Day. I'm joined by Bibby with what I think we can confirm is the latest scoop ever.
Yep. Ever. Confirmed.
I think the latest scoop we've ever done before is 328. That was maybe 6-8 months ago-ish, something like that, when we were in the studio. It was a busy-ass day and something like that. Bibby had to leave because it was that late in the day and he needed to get gone,
Yeah.
so I finished the show. But we've never been this late. This beat it by 5 minutes, but we have good reason. Well, there's a couple of reasons. The first reason is there's a bunch of news today, which Bibby about 4 hours ago said to me, the scoop today is going to be stacked. There is a shitload of news. And there is a shitload of news in today's episode of the scoop, including a story that only broke about 30 to 40 minutes ago. So we have a big headline story that only broke within the last 40 minutes. So in theory, it's actually a really good job that we stayed super late to bring you the news, because the news, because you don't lose. We bring you the big, the best, and the breaking story of the day, even without intending to. But before all of that happens, we do have something big and breaking to announce ourselves. Hey, how you doing? We'll give you that in just a second. But let me tell you first that my name is Graham. I'm joined by Bib. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true Ice Cream fashion, this is The Scoop, the UK's #1 video game podcast. If we do say so ourselves, we go live each and every single weekday on Twitch at 10 a.m.-ish.
It couldn't get much more issue.
It's literally 18 minutes to 4 in the afternoon, so it's not quite 10 a.m. today. So that ish emote that we have has a lot of eyes. That ish, yeah, it's working hard today. But you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. We work in the video games industry, so we try to go for 10 a.m. We can't always guarantee it. We pretty much can guarantee that it won't be at 10 a.m., which is why we have a 10 a.m. ish emote. So do feel free, if you are with us live on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads, that make sure you get involved in the chat, because we are live, but the live stream is turned into a podcast, a video on YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So there's lots of places where over 130,000 people have watched and listened to this podcast on demand. And I don't know about you, but that's a fucking lot of people to me. So there's a lot of people that count on your opinion. So make sure you do get involved over the next hour or so as we run through some pretty chunky stories. Before we do, I mean, we'll give you the stories. Then we'll give you our thoughts and impressions. We want to hear your thoughts and impressions, and then your thoughts and impressions. It's important that you do that. But before we ask you for any of those, let me remind you, ! Loot drop. Anyone that is a subscriber to our channel can bag themselves a prize. Well, one subscriber gets a prize every month in our loot drop. And that is where I'm going to jump off, because you guys that do subscribe to our channel, you get the loot drop because we appreciate your support. The way that you look after us by throwing down bits, by throwing down subs, that stuff is already well and above and beyond just turning up and keeping us company. So we appreciate that very much. We're building a lovely community of amazing people that support us day in, day out, and have done for 4 years on the channel, particularly over the last couple of years almost. So we appreciate you very, very much. Which is what brings us to what we're going to talk about right now. You might have seen in our Discord that we asked if people would like an ICU community meetup. And apart from Tito, who's proper negative, everyone was like, yeah. Tito's not proper negative. He has life. You know what it is. But anyway, everyone was like, yeah, this could be good. This could be pretty cool. An actual real life physical meetup, because one thing we are blessed with that not all streamers have is an actual physical place where we can hold a meetup. Most people, as I am doing right now, even though I've got a green screen up, I'm in my bedroom, or our bedroom. Bibby is in our bedroom, this side. Most people are in the same sort of situation. We have a big studio that is within our offices. So we are actually Ice Cream Uploads, but this logo that you can see here on the jersey behind me is Jelly Media. We work for Jelly Media. We've got a big office space. We've got a space where we can host a community event. Okay, that's good, but community events, they require planning. They require social campaigns, they require manning guest lists, they require food and drink and snacks, and if someone's going to have food, like barbecues, then someone needs to be cooking that, someone's got to pay for all of that stuff. I mean, if you've got a barbecue and it's going to rain, you're going to need a gazebo or something, so someone needs to get that. Basically, it costs a good old chunk of money to do all of that sort of stuff, which is where we are today. We've said that we have never done any marathon streams, any watch me play games for 17 hours or whatever, because why would we do that? We enjoy what we're doing. We don't want to force you guys to put money into our streams that you don't get anything back from. That's why we do the loot drop. If you're getting something back and you're happy, we're happy. If we're just taking money off you, then it kind of feels a little bit one-sided. So we haven't done that until now. So we are happy to announce that we will be doing the first ever ICU subathon, and that will be in just over 2 weeks' time. So if you aren't doing anything on the 11th of June, please do feel free to join me and Bibby, as we will be live for 12 to 24 hours, and that depends entirely on you guys. So do feel free to check the tweet that Bibby has just posted out and linked in the chat. We will be live from 10 a.m.-ish. A proper 10 a.m., not today's 10 a.m. So we will be live from 10 a.m. for 12 hours. And then every sub, every bit, every donation and things like that will add more to our time. That will allow us to stay up for a maximum of 24 hours. People have asked us to do a 24-hour stream before. We've done 12-ish before, but we've never got close to a 24-hour stream before. So if you guys want that, you can help with that. But the subs don't just keep us on stream. If we get to certain sub goals, that will unlock things. So if we get to a set sub goal, we will get some merch printed and give people merch. If we get to a set sub goal, we will do some forfeits and stuff for your viewing pleasure. If we get to a specific sub goal, which we will announce all of the sub goals next week on a social asset, so it'll be really easy for you guys to see exactly what you can unlock. From next week, you will be able to see that once we hit a certain sub milestone, it will unlock the community meetup next summer in August. So 11th of June, we will have a subathon, and if we get enough from the subathon, we will put on a community meetup at the ICU studio in August. And then on top of that, we will have all sorts of things like the ability to get event t-shirts, so people that come along to the community meetup will get some free merch just for being there, because you're wonderful people. And we'll do barbecues and drinks and pizzas and things like that as a way of saying, okay, you guys have supported us with a bunch of subs. Here's it all back in a cool way. So yes, if you are part of this community, we really appreciate you. Thank you very much. And if you are wanting to get involved with the community, then we will have... Lovely spam! Lovely spam! Sadly, it's not sponsored by Spam. But that's actually a really good idea. Let's get all the spam. Spam bottles everywhere. Get spam on the barbecue. Ooh, I'll have a bit of that. So, yes, it's not sponsored by Spam, but I absolutely would for it to be sponsored by Spam. So, yes, on the 11th of June, we will have a minimum of 12 hours on stream, which will then lead to, if we hit the right goals, it will unlock a community meetup at the Ice Cream Upload studio. We'll invite other people in. You guys can come in. You can see our setup. You can get some food, drinks, have a bit of a chat. You can do some streaming from our setup with us, and we'll all just have a really good time. And yeah,
the ICU belt.
Oh yeah, exactly. There you go. You can. But yeah, that's. I mean, we should have led with that, really, shouldn't we? Because there's not really any. I mean, you can get to hold the ICU championship. Maybe even take a picture with it. Yeah. So
that's at least £5 a picture.
I mean, me and Bibby will just set up a table. Bibby will sit behind it. I'll stand there like a bodyguard going, sorry, just one at a time, please. You stand up.
Watch your PayPal, mate. We'll get a Polaroid camera. I do keep on tapping on this because I've got my gardener outside, got in the garden. And I don't know if you can hear it. If you can't, better. But I can hear it real loud through my actual headset, so therefore I do think it's loud.
I can't hear it at all.
Can you not?
Nope.
I think I've set some good VSTs up here then, Graham. Because my previous ones, you could hear everything.
Yeah, I can't hear it at all. You're good.
Okay, silent.
Bobby is used to being sleep deprived. Exclamation mark, Bobby.
Genuinely.
Feck off, autocorrect. I meant to type Bibby, not Bobby. God damn it. Okay, jumping back.
Are we allowed to say what our sub goal is for that yet? Or shall we wait for the asset?
I think we can do, but it doesn't kind of sit in. I think, yeah, we'll wait for the asset kind of thing in that, because then it shows the explanation and the logic kind of as to what and where kind of thing. But I'm leaving with it. Talking about the belt, says the Triggermeister Lotus. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. The first few hours will be great. The last few, good luck. Yeah, that's the thing as well. The thing is it's actually really hard in the studio to have marathon broadcasts, because that studio lighting can be quite harsh, and it just dries your eyes out, and the studio gets really warm, and then it's really cold, and then once it's warm it tends to stay like a fucking boiler for hours and stuff. So
Well, I've
plus,
already thought ahead for all this, Graham.
oh,
I've
oh,
already been sketching out different scenarios and different ways that we can change the studio and just set it all out at once, and then we can move from stage to different areas so that it's just not the same thing for however long that we're going to be in there for. So it just keeps it fresh. Do you know what I mean? It just
yeah,
keeps it
yeah, yeah,
fresh
yeah,
for
yeah,
everyone,
yeah.
not only for the people who are obviously watching us, mainly for us as well, because it's going to be a hell of a long time. Like I say, it's a massive sweat fest in there under them lights after about 3 hours. Like say, your retinas just start to die a little bit and things. So yeah, I've been sketching out ways that I think we could possibly use the space to our advantage, so that we can get boosted, get re-energized, get refueled, get rehydrated
Well, we
very
have
easily.
a bunch of content planned, so we'll play a few different games.
Mhm.
We'll probably loop in some other people that we know to play with us as well, and like obviously make a good do with it, because obviously 24 hours, we're probably leaning on some people, particularly in that last stretch. So Sunday
Yeah.
morning between 8 and 10, if we do make a 24-hour stream, at that point, that's where we're going to be like, yeah, I know you get kind of like a late wind at the end. But yeah, after we've had 3 or 4 hours of everyone that we know just being in bed because it's like 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's just me in bed,
Mhm.
they're like,
Yeah. Beans is staying up. Lotus is staying up. Nietzsche doesn't sleep. Oh,
I mean, Beans
yeah.
works silly shifts, so that's actually really good for him. He gets back at 2 when we're flagging. He can be the late perk. There we go.
Absolutely.
Beans, the musical fruit. The more you sleep. Nobody sleeps. The more you
Yeah.
burns. um,
Burns.
That's a normal Wednesday evening for you on PUBG. I suppose, yeah, we had like 7 hours just the other day. But that's the thing, though. The difference between 7 hours and 12 hours is actually quite a chunk. The difference between 12 and 24 is oof. Next Gen Base says, it's been too long since I've seen your beautiful faces in person. Let's fucking do this. Yeah, absolutely. I did see you mention something about not being in the chat for a while as well. There we go. Been a while, gosh damn work. But when you get pinged in the Discord, then it's going to be a biggie. Can't miss it. I appreciate you dropping in. So that was our big news then. We are having our first ever subathon, with the idea being that subathon helps us generate the funds to put on a bigger event for you guys. So obviously, if you don't want to get involved in the subathon, you do not have to. You don't have to
Yeah.
put your hands in your pockets at all. It's just to allow us to put on something a little bit bigger, to bring in the people that we've known and spoke to through our stream, particularly for the last 2 years. We've played with a bunch of people that we've never met physically in person. We've met Next Gen Base quite a few times, but there's a bunch of other people in this stream that we haven't had a chance to meet in person. And this gives us the opportunity to, obviously, for you to come and visit us at the studio, that's probably going to be a bit of effort for some of you guys. But if we can make it worth your while by putting on some drinks, putting on some pizza, getting a good stream bit on, getting you some bits of merch that you can take back with you and stuff like that, then you might be thinking, do you know, actually, that's worth it then. So, yeah, I mean, obviously you get to meet us as well, I suppose. So, yeah, that's what it is. Feel free to join us 2 weeks tomorrow for the ICU subathon. And then in August the 13th, we can confirm, is the date. If we hit the goal, we will unlock the ICU We Meet You summer barbecue. Then fuck yeah. Do you know, if you haven't seen it, which you probably haven't because you've been watching me, this is the tweet. If you can go over to Twitter, do you want to just post the link in again? People might have scrolled or might have joined in late. If you go over to Twitter, you will see this tweet. The Ice Cream Uploads We Meet You subathon from 10 a.m.-ish, Saturday the 11th of June, and it could last for 24 hours. It will be 12 hours, but it could last for 24 if the goals are met. So today we're happy to announce our first ever Twitch subathon. The goal is to get enough subs to unlock our first IRL community meetup at the ICU studio. We'd love your support to help us create the We Meet You Summer Barbecue 22. So we raise enough funds, the We Meet You. So We Meet You, for those that we're like a clever name at Ice Cream Uploads. The channel's a clever name. So we work for Jelly, and our channel's called Ice Cream. We're called ICU, and now the event is called We Meet You. ICU, we meet you. ICU, we meet you. That's the name. So 11th of June, 2 weeks' time, we will have the subathon. And then in August, so you guys will have a bunch of time to plan, we will have the actual meetup. So the subathon is in a couple of weeks, and then in August, we will have the actual meetup. So if you guys do want to come along to the meetup, Keep the 13th of August in mind. Nice. Okay, jumping into the news then. Actually, let me carry on running back through the comments. I see Tazebad's here. Hey, Tazebad. What 10 a.m. got lost? How are you both today? Yeah, 10 a.m. Fucked off, mate. We're doing for a different 10 a.m. We're going for tomorrow's 10 a.m. We're almost closer to that now anyway. God damn. 10 p.m. God damn. 12 a.m. here. It's actually past 10 a.m. in Tazebad's time zone. What the fuck? Actually, no, it's 12 midnight. Yeah, there we go. Fuck. I already have foreseen this in my dream. Ooh. Are you coming then, Lake? Come on. You said you were looking to come to the UK in August. Just make sure it's around the 13th. Job's a good one. You bastards, how do I get there? How good are you at swimming? I drown well. Oh, nice. Well, if you drown deep enough, you'll come out the other end, and that'll make it closer, right? That works. That's how the world works, right? It's all just water in the middle. There's nothing solid there. No? No. Tito, and I've done that one. I heard they have 3 or more. Kappa says Lotus. What, TVs? TVs? Is that what you mean?
Quite a few.
While I was in movies, I got a phone call from Congo. Wonder if it was King Congo calling. Congo is a film as well, though, isn't it? Congo is... Yeah, I'm going to say yeah. Go fund me page to get there. We'll do a separate subathon just for Tazebad to get here as well. Let's go. No, I am in Germany, Austria, and Slovakia in August. God damn it, Lake. Honestly, you travel everywhere, but our one little bit of Polton the File in Blackpool.
Poland's really nice, but they just don't go to Blackpool.
Yeah. Anyway, the news though for today, we were going to lead with a big story from Microsoft, but we are PlayStation fanboys. No, we're not. We are going to lead with a PlayStation story instead, not because we're fanboys, but just because it's bigger and breaking. So the biggest news, which has usurped all our graphics, you'll see all our graphics talks about Microsoft because we had that all prepped and ready to go. But within the last 30 minutes-ish, well, close to an hour now, PlayStation State of Play returns next week with a 30-minute broadcast. So after a 2 months absence with a focus on third-party titles and PSVR 2 games, should I say, not just PS2 games, but PSVR 2. So that is the headline story. State of Play next week. PlayStation's boss then will talk about its acquisition spree is not at all finished. So Xbox has been flashing the cash. PlayStation a little bit, but they're still not finished. There is more to come. Then we'll jump into the Microsoft story that we're going to run with, and that's that Microsoft is working on an Xbox cloud streaming stick. So Fire Stick, but prepped with Game Pass to the tits. Spicy meatball. Then we'll talk about Dead Space's creator, who's talking about the Callisto Protocol, which is basically Dead Space, but in PUBG, but not in PUBG now. So it was going to be within the PUBG universe. That's not the case. So it's not. They've cut the ties with the title that got everyone talking about it. Clever move, smart move. We'll talk about that then. Then we'll talk about CD Projekt focusing a shitload of resources on Cyberpunk 2077. And then we'll tell you about Free Game Friday. There's a bunch of games that you can get free from the Epic Games Store and from Amazon Prime. So if you have the Epic Games Store... if you have the Epic Games client installed on your PC or you're an Amazon Prime user, then you have all sorts of free stuff coming your way. But for now, we'll jump in with the lead story. Bib.
Yes.
State of Play.
Yes.
Well, next week, I can tell you, Tom Ivan at VGC says that PlayStation State of Play returns next week with a 30-minute broadcast. Sony show is back after a 2-month absence with a focus on third-party titles and PSVR 2 games. So Sony Interactive Entertainment has announced it will stream a new State of Play presentation on Thursday, June the 2nd, just next Thursday. So viewable on Twitch or YouTube, the first State of Play presentation in over 2 months will start at 11 p.m. for us. That's a bit late. It's not,
it's a little bit late, that.
Confirm Bibby is live streaming that one, by the way. Live watch along. Let's go, Bib.
I'll be snoozing.
It will include nearly 30 minutes of announcements and updates on PlayStation games. Quote, we'll have some exciting reveals from our third-party partners, plus a sneak peek at several games in development for PlayStation VR 2, said Sony Interactive Entertainment Content Communications Manager Brett Elston. During a PlayStation business briefing on Thursday, Jim Ryan claimed the company was experiencing unprecedented demand for PS5. And we'll stop there because we don't really care about the PS5 in general. We've spoken about that already this week. But what we haven't spoken about is the fact that a state of play is coming. All I'm going to say is we were talking about this before this happened. We were saying, okay, Microsoft have got a conference. Jeff Keighley and the Summer Game Fest have a conference. He's already said that, forget third party broadcasts this summer. It's all going to be first party. But there's no PlayStation in sight. And I said, guarantee something will come. If not before, you'll get something after. But I won't be surprised if something comes before. Didn't expect it to be just next Thursday. So not only is it coming before, but it's coming a full week before Summer Game Fest. Is that a smart move? Is that to keep a little bit of separation between Summer Game Fest and Xbox in the E3 window? Because theirs is only a 30-minute broadcast. What are your thoughts, Bib? Give us the details.
Yeah, I think it's just to keep them in the news. I think PlayStation tend to do that quite well. They're trying to keep themselves... I hate using the word relevant, but just to keep them fresh in people's minds. Like, I know it's from third parties. I'm going to show some PSVR stuff in there as well. So there might be something for everyone. They haven't really give you an idea of what it's going to be around. So yeah, I'm always excited for conferences. I don't care whether or not it's an indie showcase from Nintendo. I don't care whether or not it's a State of Play, Summer Games Fest, a Gamescom, opening night live. I genuinely don't care. I just enjoy hearing people's thoughts about video games, and this is just another opportunity for us to be able to do so in now a double week's worth of expos, conferences, whichever way you want to go with it. So yeah, again, I'm all in for it. I probably will catch up with it in the morning, considering it's at 11 o'clock at night, and I usually go to bed about 9:30 because I'm a fucking loser.
Oh man, Bib.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing what's going to be coming out of this one. I can guarantee that Twitter and any other social media is probably going to be up in arms if something doesn't particularly get shown. It's been the same way forever. So yeah, either way, I'm looking forward to it.
The thing is, like, when you've got a PlayStation State of Play conference, I know there's a State of Play is not a conference. It's just a State of Play broadcast. It's a video. But when I'm thinking of E3 week, June, I'm thinking of PlayStation conference. So I will keep saying accidentally State of Play conference. It's not a conference because there's no conferring. There's no back and forth. It's just them telling what it is. So my brain instantly goes, God of War Ragnarok's coming. There's going to be some God of War Ragnarok footage in there. I mean, PlayStation and Call of Duty get on, so we've just found out there's going to be some Modern Warfare stuff. Is that going to be within that stuff? Are we going to get Modern Warfare within that? And then we're going to get some PSVR stuff in there. That's going to be a chunk of the show. We're going to get some Resident Evil PSVR stuff in there. Resident Evil Village VR. We'll talk about that the other day. We're going to get some of that stuff. So my brain's like, boop, 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 boop. I've done all this. There's going to be some crap in there as well. There always is. There always is some crap just thrown in the middle as filler. But I'm thinking 30 minutes doesn't go very far with what could be in there for PlayStation in the summer. And if it doesn't go very far, how long until we get the next PlayStation State of Play? Like, I feel like PlayStation has been quiet for too long. They've been quiet for 2 months. 2 months at this point of the year is too long. There's not really anything being said apart from unforced errors when it comes to payment structures around PS Plus and other things like that. So PlayStation have released I don't want to say a subpar platform with their Game Pass competitor, but they released it in a way that didn't do it justice. It sounded crap and weak until they actually added some meat to the bones and let people know. It's actually, okay, it's not quite Game Pass, but it's actually a good service if you're interested in what's there and so on. So after 2 months of fumbling the ball, making unforced errors, you kind of feel like they've got to come out swinging, hit some big things. Is 30 minutes enough to do that? Do we think Xbox are going to come out swinging? We know Xbox are probably not going to have Redfall and Starfield because those have been delayed, unless we get some sort of, here's just a small video to say, look, we love you, we're still working on it, yay. But then there'll still be a bunch of other stuff coming from Xbox, like,
I think 30 minutes is enough. Like, it doesn't have to be 45 minutes because you know full well when it gets extended longer, it's not to include more games. It's usually to include some filler, just to try and break up the announcements. So if they're going to show 2 VR games that may last like 2 or 3 minutes each. That's 6 minutes out of an half an hour show. So you've got 24 minutes left. You're going to have an introduction. You're going to have an outro. Call them 2 minutes each as well. So you're left with 22 minutes. Oh, so you're left with 20 minutes. So how I don't. It doesn't say how many other games are going to be getting shown in there.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I do agree with you. I completely agree because there was someone the other day that it was Jeff Keighley saying you need 30 minutes of content, and if you've only got 2 games, then these people doing these conferences for an hour with only a couple of games of content, it's flat, and we end up with Koch Media as we were talking about the other. So I agree with that. I just feel like there's so many different things that they could be hitting in there that I feel like 30 minutes for what they could and probably should be hitting with might not be enough because you will get some crap in there invariably. And I say crap, I mean that respectfully. I mean stuff I'm not interested in, like like watching a Ubisoft conference and you're getting Rabbids and Just Dance. Not interested, and their mobile spin-offs of whatever Tom Clancy's latest mobile rip-off. Not interested. And we often get that stuff anyway. It might be within a 2 or 3 minute montage, but then you'll often get like 5 minutes dedicated to whatever their big game is at the end. Maybe 5 minutes at the beginning for a big game at the beginning. That only leaves like 18 minutes then for all of VR and something else. So like there could be good stuff in there. There could be. I just feel like I don't know. I feel like when we're going to have probably 16 hours of Summer Game Fest next week, Jeff Keighley just stood there reading every word over and over.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, though, again, he knows how to put on a show. He knows how long to put on a conference for. He knows what. I mean, you're going to have 15, 20 minutes of some kind of music interval. There'll be an interlude of a band or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Just to break it up, and then they'll sandwich in some big announcements in between that as well. Like, he knows how to put a show on and where to put things to make it a worthwhile watch. PlayStation, obviously, because this is going to be a state of play, it's just going to be you're probably not even going to see someone on the screen, Graham. It's probably going to be a voiceover.
Yeah, that's what it usually is. It's usually that almost. I want to say elevator. Sort of, it's not an elevator. Like there was one a couple of years ago. And it was like,
welcome to PlayStation State of Play. Today we'll be going through.
Let's check into Ragnarok and as Kratos, and then it goes. I mean, Ben's already said no God of War, but like that sort. But like, you've got to feel there's got to be a good few minutes on PlayStation Plus in there. They can't not talk about PlayStation Plus. There's got to be something talking about. Did you know that with PlayStation Extra and Premium, you get access to all these games and stuff like that? Also, and then we'll get some sort of montage that will have Dino Crisis and these other things in there as well, probably. Unless they are planning for a fuck me sort of moment. Imagine doing the whole, also for the first time on any other console that's not the PS4, you can play Metal Gear Solid 4. I mean, it's not going to appeal to everyone. It'll appeal to Metal Gear fans and those that wanted to be Metal Gear fans but never could. They could have those sort of moments. I just feel like, once again, if we're looking at shouting about PS Plus, shouting about PlayStation's first-party offerings, shouting about third-party offerings within there as well. It just means that there's not a lot of minutes. Yeah. I mean, like I say, it could be just absolute wall-to-wall bangers. But State of Play has never been that. State of Play has never been wall-to-wall bangers. State of Play has always been a bit of a banger, and then a couple of good stuff with some chordy stuff as well. So we'll see. We'll see. I was referring to King Kong. Congo has a president, and it's Emocratic Public. Just all walking around with like black paint around their eyes and stuff like that. Yeah, nice. Chemical romance everywhere. Emocratic Republic would be a funny thought though. Democratic. Sorry. There we go. Me and Mama Timeless are watching the stream. Hey, Mama Timeless, how you doing?
Hello.
Not in a Joey from Friends sort of way, but just like a hey, how you doing? Not a how you doing, because that would be weird through the internet stuff. But how you doing? Welcome in. Here's a bunch of trailers now, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine Dragons, ladies and gentlemen. The Weekend. It's Friday. We've got to do that one, right? So there we go. PlayStation State of Play is coming next week. We kind of guessed it would be coming. We didn't have any industry inside intel. It was just an educated guess. There's Xbox stuff. It was announced a bit in advance, so that's prime real estate for PlayStation to jump in a little bit in there. The fact that it is over a week before the Xbox conference, it's 10 days before the Xbox conference, means that news will have been and gone. So there is no fighting for exposure there. Jeff Keighley and Xbox will be fighting for exposure a little bit, but PlayStation are either getting in and getting out and going, look, there's our stuff, nice, or they're getting in and getting out because their stuff they're probably thinking is a bit flat. I mean, it could be one way, it could be the other. We'll find out next Thursday, well, next Friday anyway, at 10 a.m.-ish on the Scoot when Bibby brings you those stories. I will be in bed.
Yeah.
Because I'm off next week.
Yeah. Oh, so, what day is it next week it's on?
Thursday.
Ah, well, guess what, Graham? It's bank holiday.
Oh, we won't bring it. We'll bring it the week after. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will bring
Breaking news 4 days later.
Oh, no. Okay, sticking with that then. Maybe this could be what fills out some of the show. Tom Ivan at VGC has this story. It says, PlayStation's boss says its recent acquisition spree is not at all finished. Jim Ryan says further inorganic investment will be required to help grow the business. So Sony Interactive Entertainment CEO Jim Ryan has said that the company is still on the hunt for new acquisition targets that can help grow the PlayStation business. During its fiscal year ending in March 2022, Sony Interactive Entertainment acquired 5 studios, including Returnal developer Housemarque, PC port specialist Nixus Software, UK-based Firesprite, Demon's Souls remake studio Bluepoint, and Seattle-based Valkyrie. It also invested in Discord, Devolver Digital, and live service game platform Axelbyte, while talks are also ongoing to fully acquire Bungie and Haven Studios. I'm going to stop for just a second because we've covered every single one of these, but it's so easy to forget. Within the last 12 months, PlayStation have had Housemarque, Nixus, Firesprite, Bluepoint, Valkyrie invested in Discord, Devolver Digital, and are about to buy Bungie and Haven Studios. Don't get me wrong, it's not 69 billion, so it doesn't get the headlines, but that is a fecking lot of strategic investment there. Woo! So it's easy to say PlayStation are making shit moves, that they're standing still, while Xbox are making moves moving forward. But PlayStation clearly are too. Sleeping giants, maybe. The duck analogy under the surface, the feet are going. Yeah, maybe possibly. We've been extremely active in the area of mergers and acquisitions and investment, said Sony's Ryan, transcribed by BGC during a PlayStation business briefing session on Thursday. The purpose of these investments is to increase our core strength at PlayStation Studios, but to also acquire expertise in areas of game development where historically we have not had a significant presence. The planned Bungie partnership is a great example of the latter, he said, reiterating that Sony wants the Destiny Studios to help it gain a greater presence in the live service market. Ryan said Sony expects half of its releases to be on PC and mobile by its fiscal year ending in March 2026, and that acquisitions will likely be necessary to achieve this target. Quote, in terms of future M&A activity, the answer to that is we are not at all finished with our strategy of trying to grow PlayStation Studios inorganically, he said during a Q&A session. Ryan added, as we transition from our historic game development strategy to a much broader and much wider market reach than we enjoy today, it's very likely that inorganic stimulus will be required to help us realize these dreams. And to the extent that potential targets fit with our strategy, to the extent that potential targets allow us to accelerate the way in which we're able to deliver on our strategy, we will certainly consider further M&A activity to add to our business portfolio. So PlayStation, talking about inorganic investment, aka spending above what they earn in order to make sure that they earn above what they spend going forward. Big outlay now, loss leading up front to earn shitloads later on. Smart moves? Anything particularly you want to add, Bib?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to buying out companies, it's using a football analogy. It's all well and good you having youth team players come into your first team. They don't really cost you that much. They just cost you time and investment in terms of nurturing them, making them better from either being 7, 8, 9 as they come into the academy, and then by the time they get in the first team, maybe 16, 17, 18. But if you want to be able to buy someone that is just going to slip straight into your first team, who's going to bang you 30 goals a season, you're probably going to buy someone with experience. Putting that into gaming terms, being able to buy certain companies that have a wealth of experience of taking something that is primarily made for console and then being able to put it into the PC space, you might as well get someone who's got a lot of experience into it. And that's essentially what I think they're aiming at. They're aiming to try and be able to move stuff from their console into the PC market and onto the mobile market as well. So they're going to invest as much money and time into buying someone who has a wealth of that experience. They could quite easily make their own part of the studios where they're able to do that. They'll just move people or just hire people who have maybe done it before, or have done it before, shall we say, and then create a team for those guys there. But why do that when you can just spend, if you've got the money, be able to spend and get results instantaneously?
James K says in the chat, just do a Man City and buy success, right, baby?
Exactly. Like you buy the Rubinho to be able to put you onto the footballing map, and people go, actually, there is 2 teams in Manchester, not just one. And then before you know it, you're stealing Carlos Tevez from your local rivals, and then you go on to win a Premier League title. That's essentially what this is. You're buying people and industries around you that have a wealth of experience to try and make your company or your football team even better. That's business. That is business 101.
No, I agree. I mean, it is kind of like the Man City concept in the fact that if it was just video game development, then you could argue that PlayStation are more like the old blood, the Liverpools, the Uniteds, the Madrids and Barças and things that have obviously had the merchandising and stuff there in place for years. But it's not really that, because it is buying into areas where they don't necessarily have the expertise there. So it is kind of that. But Man City brought business into football. That's all it was. It was footballing business, and this is video games business. Similar sort of thing. 2 areas that you absolutely have a lot of passion with, and you don't want to be business, but they are business. So yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense, and it absolutely makes sense. Looking at their acquisitions, I mean, it's interesting to see both approaches, because Microsoft have just gone, we don't have games. Let's buy all the fucking games. Okay, Activision, one of the number 1 and 2 games sold in America. Yeah, we'll buy that. Thank you. We'll just buy everything. Fucking Bethesda, all of their games. Yeah, we'll buy them as well.
That's it. Xbox didn't have first party. Well, they do have first party games, but they are good. But they could be better. So what we do, we go and buy Bethesda. It'll bring over Elder Scrolls and Prey and Doom and all these games that are ingrained into society, and then go, do you know what? We've got another game, this Starfield one. You may not have heard of it before, but it's coming out soon. I know it's been delayed now, but like they're making people take notice of the Green brand. That they now have single player experiences that people want to be able to buy. Do you want to play the new Elder Scrolls, Graham?
No.
Tough shit. You ain't got an Xbox, so you can't. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's business. You want them to be able to go and buy your console. They want them to get involved into your ecosystem. And that's how you do it.
You look at the other side of it then. So Xbox have gone, shit, we don't have games. Let's buy all the fucking biggest games. And PlayStation have gone, oh shit, we've got all the games, but our system is just about video games. Whereas Xbox have got TV, and just actual playability on your smartphone and on a PC and fucking all this other stuff. So PlayStation have gone, okay, let's buy Nix's software that works on PC porting. Let's buy Bluepoint, which works on remaking old games and bringing them forward, so they can work on remastering titles, because there's a good chunk of money in that. That's a different thing. That's not just working on the IPs we've got, but bringing old ones to new audiences. Probably Bluepoint, you'd have to feel within that, have ideas of how to not just make old games new, but also add in new functions to old games as well. So, or existing games, the cross-market, cross-platform sort of stuff. So they'll probably tie into the PC stuff as well. Investment in digital, Devolver Digital, and Discord, and buying Bungie. That adds communication softwares, because PlayStation Party is a chat compared to Xbox Party Chat. Live service games, which PlayStation doesn't really have any major ones of their own beyond MLB The Show. I wouldn't class that's a major live service game. It's a sports game that has live service, but it's still even not a major one there. So buying Bungie for that. PlayStation have gone arguably much smaller, but that's because they have the IP and need the systems. Xbox has the systems, but need the IP. So it's quite telling when you break it down like that. You can see they're actually both making really intelligent decisions, just in very, very different ways. Xbox is having to buy the bigger, prettier, more expensive stuff on the market to get that. What was it? Mind share. We could just throw out a bunch of games over the next 10, 15 years. If we make 20 of them, 5 might be massive successes. let's just buy 5 massive successors instead. It'll cost us fucking 80 million across Bethesda and Activision, but in that we've bought Doom, we've bought Skyrim, we've bought Starfield, we've bought Redfall, we've bought Ghostwire Tokyo and Deathloop, even though we've given them to PlayStation. We'll get them back eventually, so we'll take them away from them as well, and Call of Duty and Hearthstone. And so Xbox are going, okay, we've got well more than 5 decent IPs now, so let's just keep fucking rolling these bad boys out, which, yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Anyway, enough of that, but we will stick with Xbox though, because this was originally going to be our lead story of the day. Talking about new technologies and new systems, it's not surprising that PlayStation are investing in the likes of Discords and the likes of PC porting specialists and things like that, because they're looking at how they can get their games more accessible. And the reason why is because of things like this. James Troughton at The Gamer says Microsoft is working on an Xbox cloud streaming stick. So Microsoft's push to lower the bar of entry for gaming continues with the Xbox cloud streaming stick, codenamed Project Keystone. So Microsoft has a new streaming dongle in development, codenamed Project Keystone, that aims to make affordable Xbox gaming through xCloud readily accessible. Quote, our vision for xCloud gaming is unwavering. Our goal is to enable people to play the games they want on the devices they want, anywhere they want, Microsoft told Windows Central. As announced last year, we've been working on a game streaming device codenamed Keystone that could be connected to any TV or monitor without the need for a console. The aim of this new dongle is to lower the entry cost of Xbox gaming, making it more affordable to anyone who wants to dip their toes into its growing catalogue. You won't need a pricey current-gen console to try out Halo Infinite, but you'll need a steady and fast internet oh, well, that's me fucked then, isn't it? Great. Well, you will need a steady and fast internet connection to take full advantage. It's still streaming after all. Quote, as part of any technical journey, we are constantly evaluating our efforts, reviewing our learnings, and ensuring we are bringing value to our customers, Microsoft continued. We have made the decision to pivot away from the current iteration of the Keystone device. We will take our learnings and refocus our efforts on a new approach that will allow us to deliver Xbox cloud gaming to more players around the world in future. Development has been underway for 2 years, with plenty of leaks and rumours circulating during that time, but Microsoft has gone back to the drawing board to reevaluate its approach, building Keystone back up with learned lessons. This likely means we won't see it anytime soon. We'll pause there. We don't need the rest of the article. We've got more than enough to go with, but Xbox wants you, Bib. It wants you to play games, and it doesn't want you to have to fork out the money that you've already forked out, but it doesn't want you to have to do it again if you wanted an Xbox Series X to get the best options of playing video games out there. They want to do all of that stuff for you, and all you need is a little USB stick that you will plug in through a HDMI slot, probably on your TV, on your monitor, and that's it. As long as you've got decent enough internet, you have Game Pass / Xbox Cloud Gaming at your fingertips. Smart move or what?
Yeah, it's something that I've mentioned over 12 months ago, maybe even 2 years ago, about the possibility of potentially having Xbox Game Pass on a stick. Like, you've got the Steam device, not the deck. I'm not talking about the deck. The thing that you used to plug into your TV and it'd find your computer in the house. You used to plug it in via Ethernet cable. It'd pull whatever game you have in your library. Like, I used to play a modded Master League in the front room on my PC, from my PC in the office, like up here downstairs through the Steam. I can't remember what it's called. I'm sure it was just a Steam device.
Steam box.
And you could plug.
Is it that one?
Yeah, like, yeah, like that thing. Yeah, I can't remember what it's called. But just something like that. It was just like a Fire Stick size where you could have Xbox Game Pass
Steam Link
portable with you. Steam Link, that was it. Yeah. Bought that. It was like a tenner from Steam. They was getting rid of them. I said yes, please, and it was a fantastic piece of kit. If you had an internet fast enough, and you plugged it in via Ethernet cable, it was absolutely fine. I do hope that if they do end up having this streaming stick, it does have an Ethernet port on the side of it, because it would piss me off if it was just over Wi-Fi, because I'd have the same problem. Might not have the same problem. OpenReach have just finished installing super fast fiber in my area, so I can now have 600 meg download, which they are coming to install it on the 13th of June, which I'm super excited about.
I'm also super excited. Super excited for you. Completely. Yep.
So yeah, they finally finished rolling out in my area. Me and Graham will no longer be on a shared 67 meg across the entirety of Manchester. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But I mean, then again, I might be able to play Game Pass on my phone then over Wi-Fi. But I do hope that if they do have this little Fire Stick size gadget that it has an Ethernet port on the side of it, because I think that'll be class. I can reroute the Ethernet cable through. I know it might not do for portable, like Fire Sticks. I think some Fire Sticks have Ethernet cables. You can buy the attachments to go along with it. If you could do that, that'd be great. But something like this might cost you 35 quid, and you can buy a wireless Xbox controller that might cost you 35 quid. And then you're playing all the Xbox Game Pass catalog of games for £70 on your TV in your front room. That is the future.
Someone's on the way. Neil's on the way. I was just about to go. Fuck you and your fucking really good internet. Next Gen Base says, I've just noticed that rather lovely conspicuous sticker on Bib's desk in front of the headset. So let's have a look. Let's go big Bib cam. What sticker do you mean? I can't. No, I can see. No, I can't see. I don't know. Can't quite see anything there. I can't see it because I'm in the way. Down a bit. There we go. Yeah, nice. Let's just go back to my camera for just 1 second while I just have an inconspicuous drink from my bottle. Ugh. It's not really stuck to my bottle. I just held it around it. So there you go. It's the Next Gen Base sticker. That's what it is. Let's go.
I did actually have that sticker there. I thought I'll put it there because then I can actually stick it on my work laptop and I won't forget it. I forgot it for about a month.
He was literally talking. It was yesterday. He was talking.
It was
about
yesterday. Yeah. So I'm intending on putting it on my laptop, so that you have pride of place. I mean, it's doing quite well next to the Astro and Elgato stuff there, if I'm being honest. But yeah, stick it on my laptop. You get a bit more airtime.
Did that not come up? I must have missed that one. Let me hit replay. I don't know where the alerts are. Lumps. I don't know what. I appreciate the bits. Bits in it. There you go. I did it for you. There you go. I don't know why it's not playing. Thank you very much for the standard Lumps 32 bits. I appreciate it, as always, dude. Thank you very much.
Legend.
Okay, let me jump back through for just a second. Let me catch up. It's gone. Xbox selling with Disney Plus free month 2, good bonus. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's the thing though. Like, you just go, I want streaming stuff. I've just moved into a new apartment, or I need something for my kid to play games, or whatever it is. You do realise, rather than spending 500 quid ish on some console setup, you've got yourself. You don't even need signal and stuff. To, like, an aerial for TV bits and stuff. You don't need another SkyQ mini box or anything like that. Just stick that one dongle inside the TV or your monitor or whatever. You've got access to Xbox's cloud library. Plus, within that, you've got EA Play and all the other stuff that comes with Xbox's crossover, probably, in some way, shape, or form. You've got to feel that the Game Pass benefits, whilst they're not there entirely on the Xbox cloud setup yet, they will make more and more of that stuff available through that ecosystem. And then you bundle in the likes of Disney Plus and stuff like that. It just becomes the non-gamers way in. And that's where the market is. The mainstream, the non-gamers is where the money is. You earn that, you win that, you convert that market. There is nothing left for anyone else. That's it. Game over. Game, set, and match. So it's genius. It is genius.
Affordable gaming for everyone, Graham. That's what I want in the world, for everybody to be able to experience video games in one way or another, and to try and make it as affordable as possible, because not everyone can afford a £2,000 gaming PC or a £500 next gen gaming console. Even the £250 one from the Xbox Series S, a lot of people might struggle with that, but having a barrier of entry of about 45 quid, I think that's a great price.
The thing is, as well, it's like, because we always say 250 quid, but that's because we are at a base point already. And obviously it goes without saying that some people just aren't there. Maybe you're moving out into a new house, or you're just getting a gaming setup. You go for the baseline 250 quid console, and you think, oh, well, I've got to buy a monitor or a TV for that. Gone are the days of just going out and buying a cheap TV, because, you know, cheap TVs, low refresh rates, and the screen tearing and blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, I'll get myself a decent TV. Actually, maybe I'll get a monitor. But then if I've got a monitor, then I've got no sound options. Who cares about sound options? Because you've got to buy a headset with it as well, and it all suddenly starts to add up. So if Xbox can get rid of 50% of that and just go, okay, well, you sort your speaker and stuff out. If you're only having it as a casual gamer, then all you need is a stick. If not, you're saving yourself 200 to 500 quid on the console, and you can get yourself a better headset with a good TV. and you can add the other stuff on later on down the line. Nice.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's going to be powered by Stadia, because wasn't they offering their services to other companies not so long back? I wouldn't be surprised if there is some sort of crossover there, but Microsoft uses the Azure cloud system. So Microsoft are actually selling their stuff to PlayStation. So I won't be surprised if there is some sort of crossover with Google, because that just happens at that level. Amazon, Google, and Microsoft all sell services to each other at that sort of level. So it wouldn't surprise me if they were involved. But that said, what is Stadia, mate? What is this thing? It comes built in with Bibs TV though, so there is that, you know.
It does. It genuinely does. I was actually looking for a Google Stadia controller for a very good price, just to be able to test it out. We have them in we have them in work, we have them in the office. I thought, you know what, if I can pick a controller up for like 10 or 15 quid, I'll be buzzing with that. So I am in the market to potentially buy one and then see what it's like. I mean, I might be able to just tether any old controller to the TV, because it has got Bluetooth built into it.
Did anyone
which I didn't know
buy Stadia and resent it completely? If you want to get rid of your controller for one time only, we're giving you a £10 offer for your controller.
There you go.
There you go. If you want to get
rid, a signed picture of us.
We'll send the Christmas bib. When it comes to Christmas, you can have the one that's next to me in the office.
About 6 years ago that I sent you that as well, wasn't it? It's still there now.
Yeah, it's amazing, because little did you know that like less than 2 years later you'll be sat next to it.
I know. It creeped me out at first. I thought, oh my god.
Okay, where did we get to? Mate, jealous as fuck about OpenReach. I'm on Virgin Media at the moment, but they're putting my price up to 70 quid a month with no other fibre options until the end of July. Bastards!
Mine's like an extra 20 quid a month, going from the 70 meg that I get now to the 600 that I'm going to be getting. It's an extra £20, but for the industry that obviously we work in and we have to download 4K files, rather than it taking like 3 hours, it's going to take 3 minutes, and that is a lot of time saved.
I'd spend 70 quid more a month, let alone 70 quid. I'd spend 70 quid more a month if I could get the gigafast stuff. Fucking give me that shit. Just eradicate all of the problems I have until I actually start streaming and realize that it's irrelevant how fast it is when it just craps. Yeah. Oh fuck's sake. You heard it the first time. Well, at least you heard it, lumps. If not, bits in it. There you go. You've heard it 3 times now. Not powered by Stadia. They've already got their cloud system in place, and it's really fucking good. I thought so. I saw exactly 0 reason to get Stadia. Yeah, we sadly invested before those reasons were apparent. We bought 2 because we work in the industry, and obviously we do that stuff anyway for R&D, just having our own knowledge and being able to potentially use them on stream. And we have streamed no streams using Stadia in all of our time that we've been streaming, because it sucks balls. Yes. I wonder if it'll work on my slow 460 meg internet. Have you got 460 meg? Is that you've got an apartment though, aren't you, Tito? Have you got like shared stuff? Is that really what it is? 460 meg? Okay, I'm gonna stop complaining.
I'm gonna join that club very, very soon.
Is that it? Just 460 meg? God, poor guy. I mean, I'm sat here with what, 65? Poor guy. Oh, I feel sorry bad for you. Fucker. That's £70 a month just for internet. EEBT gigabit is £50 per month. Okay. I mean, yeah. I can, if I go to my gate, I can see Manchester City Centre, and I can get no more than fucking 74 or whatever it is my average, 74 meg, something like that. So, yeah, fuck. My BT Halo 3 is £50 a month, 500 meg. Fuck you, Neil. Fuck you. Stadia is pretty good for streaming, to be fair. It links directly into the Red brand streaming service. Into the Red brand streaming service? Do you mean non-tundo? Is that what you mean? What the fuck? I am paying €25, and that's the thing. We are overcharged in comparison to other countries in the UK for our Wi-Fi, and it's always funny when I see, like, I remember years back, and this is going back like the best part of a decade, so it has changed a bit since then. But I think the overall comparison is still the same. Marvin Ronsdorf, for those who might know him, he used to be part of the PES now eFootball community. He works in video game, not he works in social media. Works with some big brands actually, the likes of PlayStation and Mercedes Benz and things like that. Anyway, he came over for an event and was surprised that once your train leaves like London, you get no signal until you stop at fucking like Macclesfield or something like that. And he's like, what happens to the internet? I was like, you got fucking in Germany, our trains, you just stay connected. I was like, because that's fucking how it should be.
Yeah.
But I'm forgetting. Trains these days do have Wi-Fi on board, and if you manage to connect to that, then you're still going to get fuck all because it's shit. And do you know? Okay, we'll leave that. Oh, YouTube game. Okay, I was like red brand. I'm thinking video games. I'm like, it's because we called Xbox the green brand earlier on. I'm thinking, do you mean Nintendo? If you do want a Stadia controller, there's one for £14.98 on eBay, and that's with postage. There you go, David. David, the eBay scroller, has found you a bargain. David does find bargains. He bought himself an Astro. What was it, A40 and an A10 headset the other day or something like that for £5 all in.
Wow.
It might not be an A40, but it was an A10 and something else. Fucker. Neil says soz. Yeah, mate. So, yeah. Okay, so we'll move on. The quick recap for those that have just jumped in. We are running out of time. So PlayStation State of Play returns next week with a 30-minute broadcast. PlayStation are still interested in buying more brands, more mergers and acquisitions to strengthen their offering. Microsoft is strengthening their offering with an Xbox cloud streaming stick. Don't expect it anytime soon, but it just makes gaming more available. Now moving into the games themselves. Dead Space creators, the Callisto Protocol, has ditched ties with the PUBG universe. Universe, should have said. It's written by Matt Wales at Eurogamer. And it says, we realised, wow, this is a little out there, end quote. So ever since its unveiling in 2020, as if it's been that long, fuck. Dead Space creator Glenn Schofield's sci-fi horror The Callisto Protocol has conjured images of Dead Space. So it was a bit of a surprise when, due to various studio connections, it was announced the game would be set in the PUBG universe. That, however, is no longer the case, with Schofield saying now it's its own story and world. The Callisto Protocol is a third-person horror game set in 2320, with its action unfolding within the confines of the Black Iron prison colony on Jupiter's moon Callisto. While that setup mightn't immediately scream PUBG to onlookers, the connection came from the fact that the developer Striking Distance was explicitly established by PUBG Battlegrounds publisher TROUGHTON to create narrative-driven games that would expand the universe introduced in the Battle Royale hit. As Schofield explained in a recent Game Informer cover feature, the Callisto Protocol, on the Callisto Protocol, should I say, quotes, when we came in, Crafton had a lore team and they were writing this big story, like, where does PUBG start? Where does it fit in? End quote. Had those plans continued? Oh, no, it's not. Actually, no, it is an end quote. Had those plans continued, the horror game would have sat pretty far out along the timeline, but somewhere during development, the idea was dropped. In a post to Twitter, Schofield revealed that while the Callisto Protocol was originally part of the PUBG timeline, it grew into its own world. Expanding on that conversation with Game Informer, he added, quote, the idea of us being in the universe at first sound really good, and then as you start coming up with your story, we realised, wow, this is a little out there. PUBG is awesome, and we still have little surprises for fans, Schofield continued in his tweet, but the Callisto Protocol is its own world, story, and universe. The Callisto Protocol, now shorn of any PUBG connections, is expected to launch on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC later this year. PUBG is not a part of the Callisto Protocol anymore. Owned by the same parent company, but not the game. No links to the two in the games anymore. What are your thoughts, Bib?
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about this previously, thinking that it was just going to be a passing comment. So saying that the character may have been born in Vikendi or something like that. It might not have an actual PUBG tie-in where they're going to be visiting Dino Land or something. Do you know what I mean? Like, I do think it was just one part of a storyline, and they've gone, do you know what? We don't need any of it. So they've just been the entire thing off, which I think is probably a good idea because it just avoids confusion. It avoids things where you have to, where they're trying to think of how this story can all be put together. It just removes all of that. So I think this is probably the right thing to do. Everyone's, or it was just a marketing tool this entire time. Oh, PUBG making a single player, people from PUBG are making a single player experience. Okay. cool. Like, I think people would have been in anyway just from looking at the trailer, regardless of who it was and what it was being tied in with. So I don't think this is. This doesn't surprise me in the slightest, shall we say?
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's one of those things where they've gone, oh, we can use this old IP, old existing IP to carry a new IP. It's always easier for a brand to launch a sequel. It's not necessarily always profitable. If you launch something brand new and you have a success with that, then cha-ching! However,
Absolutely.
you are more likely to have a failure releasing a brand new IP than you are having a sequel. That's why we live in a world. Look at it in Hollywood. You get the cinematic universe using the same characters from all of Marvel's comics over and over again. And they are the bigger earning movies of the year every year, rather than just something coming out of nowhere. Bang! We've got the Dune films remade. We've got sequels all over the place because once people know something works, they're happy to go and see that again. So you start something brand new, the Callisto Protocol, some alien-y thing. Okay, we've already said heavily that it's made by the guy that made Dead Space. So that is, in spirit, a bit of a sequel. But we can't say it's a Dead Space thing entirely. We'll tie it to PUBG, so that kind of gives it a little bit of a secret. It carries it in. It's smart to do that, but then they've realised actually it's just the use of the PUBG brand is probably throttling it more than it is anything else, trying to keep it into that fucking idea, that network, that law. So do you know what? It's just a bit daft. We're gonna have to just get rid of it. Yeah, completely. It makes sense. We'll have some nods. That's fine. But other than that, we don't need it. And I think that's good. That because I think we don't get enough nods anymore. I mean, you used to play fucking Metal Gear Solid, and Psycho Mantis would say, you like sort of whatever, and like Castlevania, off reading it off your memory cards and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, well, that makes sense because that was a good nod to a game that was irrelevant to Metal Gear Solid. If PUBG does that, that's fine. That's more than enough for me. The interesting thing for me, and this is something that I know from being a PUBG nerd, is that Krafton, the company behind PUBG, actually has lost more money than it expected. Not lost money, but probably didn't make as much. Is probably the best way to put it. In the last, I think maybe quarter, one of their financial things that are spaffed out onto social media by player IGN, who ironically has just been fucking copyright striked or cease and desisted by Krafton this week. But he mentioned that they expected PUBG to earn more or to carry more, or their other brands to do a bit more, but PUBG New State hasn't done what they wanted it to do, and the interesting other titles and stuff isn't quite where they wanted it to be. I wonder if they're thinking, do you know what? PUBG isn't necessarily this endless golden goose now. So not that it's a poison now, not that it's having it will mean the cancer will spread to that game as well. But maybe they're just going, actually, maybe we shouldn't just put all our eggs into the PUBG timeline and basket. Maybe we should diversify. So if that is what they've done it for, not as a negative to PUBG, but just as a positive to business spread, then that makes sense. It makes sense. So yeah. Well played. Afternoon Chaos, welcome in, dude. Next Gen Base is going to have to split as much love. We'll try and jump in more again going forward. No worries, dude. You are a busy man, but we appreciate you dropping in anyway. For those that don't know, exclamation mark 3D, you can buy yourself some cool little PlayStation trophies. Yeah, you want a silver PlayStation trophy? He's got you. You want to bag yourself, do you know, a platinum? You're going all the way in? He's got you. And maybe you're thinking, fucking PlayStation, what do I want that shit for? Well, that's fine, because you can stay frosty, or whatever you want. You can get your own Xbox achievement unlocked by heading to exclamation mark 3D. If you type it in the chat, you'll get a link to his Etsy store, and you can 3D print your own little trophies and achievements.
Oh,
yeah. You don't have to. Obviously, we don't get any spawn for that, but you can. Also, do check out Next Gen Base on YouTube and the socials. They produce video gaming content news. The kind of a big deal. Check them out. So yeah, PUBG creators have ditched their ties with the PUBG universe because it just kind of makes sense. Okay, this one, I'm going to read. Do you know what? We're going to skim it. I'm not really going to ask for thoughts or give thoughts. We'll skim it. CD Projekt has now says the bulk of their development capacity is focused on Cyberpunk 2077 expansion as a new leak reveals fresh details. So as part of its latest earnings report, CD Projekt has shared a revised breakdown of the projects currently occupying the studio's time, confirming the bulk of its development time capacity is now focused on Cyberpunk 2077's story expansion, which is still expected to launch next year. Following Cyberpunk's disastrous release at the end of 2020, the majority of CD Projekt's development resources, as shown in the chart below, were focused on remedying the game's most pressing issues. At the same time, a smaller team was working on its next-gen release, promised long before the project's launch was, and an even smaller group was doing preliminary work on its paid expansion. Inevitably, those numbers have shifted considerably over time, and less than half of CD Projekt's development staff were working on Cyberpunk's base game and next-gen update by June last year, for instance, and that trend has, unsurprisingly, continued. As per today's financial results, Cyberpunk 2077 support has shrunk considerably following the release of its next-gen update, with the bulk of the studio's time now working on its expansion. Do you know what? We'll stop there. You can get the idea. You understand. It all makes sense. Slaps! Oh, shit, I've just lost my pen lid. I don't even know where it fucking went. But thank you very much, Slaps. I appreciate that. I lost my pen.
He lost his pen.
Slaps, I appreciate the sub. 3 months. Thank you very much, dude. Thank you very much for that support. I can see my pen lid. We're all good. We're all good. It's fine. Anyone else that wants to throw a sub down, do you know what? Feel free. Feel free. You don't have to, or you can save it and throw it down in the ICU subathon. You may see the tweet that I did post above. Have I still got it linked? No, I don't. Copied, should I say? I don't. But it's there in the chat, just a little bit further up. We have just posted that we are doing a subathon, and we are going to count all subs. We're not necessarily going to do it as a sub driver on the day. We are going to do it as a total sub driver, so that when we hit a certain sub amount, so anything that we have now counts. So Slaps, you will be in with the subathon in a couple of weeks' time. I appreciate that, dude. Thank you very, very much. So yeah, babe.
Yes.
Is this kind of a no-brainer? Cyberpunk was broken, so they spent most of their time fixing it. They've fixed most of it, so now most of their people are working on the next stuff. Is that kind of self-explanatory?
It is, yeah. I still think well, I don't think they need me, some bloke on the internet, to say I still think they have work to do. However, I am getting increasingly closer to putting that disc into my PlayStation 5 and plowing on with some kind of Cyberpunk story. I do want to give it a go, Graham. It's been sat there on my shelf since Christmas year before last. That's how long we've had it for. Was it in October 2020 that it came out?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been a long time since we've had that game, and I'm getting closer and closer to actually wanting to play it. So that is excitement building.
Or was it December? Did it get pushed back to December? It might have been December. I think it was supposed to be October, and then whatever. It was end of 2020 anyway. It definitely says that in the article. I can't quite remember, but no, I agree. Same thing with me. I'm not going to reach over and open the drawer because Milo's asleep on the floor down there. And if I open the drawer, I'll be like, "Oh, treats! Let's wake up." So, sorry, Milo. Sorry. Yeah, I absolutely. Oh, it came out on my birthday. I don't know if you know, December 3rd is my birthday, babes, and it came out on December the 3rd of 2020. Not this year, because my birthday would obviously be on December the 3rd this year. And it was actually on December the 3rd last year. And every other year that I've been alive, actually, is December 3rd has been my birthday. So it came out on my birthday, not this year, December 3rd, or last year, December 3rd. It was December 3rd of the year before, 2020, which was December the 3rd.
That was a genuine yawn, that as well.
Nah, it was shut the fuck up.
It's subconscious.
Sorry, 10th, not 3rd. Oh, so the 10th, which is 1 week after December 3rd, which would be my birthday. So it's not on my birthday, but 1 week after my birthday, December 10th, which is not December the 3rd.
That's on the 9th.
Birthday.
Just in case anyone wants to mark that one down as well.
So 1 day after Bibby's birthday, which is 6 days after my birthday on the 3rd of December. There you go. Just in case you didn't know, it's my birthday on the 3rd of December. Nice. Okay. And Bibby's on the 9th. Okay, whatever, babe. Stop going on about it. Fucking hell.
Stop going on about it, mate. No one cares.
So yeah, CD Projekt have moved the bulk of their development onto expansion stuff, which I am actually genuinely happy about. Not because I'm a super fan of Cyberpunk. I just feel like I bought The Witcher yesterday because it's £5 on PSN. I bought The Witcher 3 because I've never played it and I want to play through The Witcher 3. I bought that yesterday so I can play through that game because of how good it is. And that started out not as bad as Cyberpunk, but not as good as it is. And they fixed that, expanded that and everything. So if they've done it before, they can do it again, or at least you hope so. Maybe not for everyone. That's the thing here. Doing it on PC means that you are working within the confines of everyone. No, obviously it's not, because everyone has different specs in their PCs, but it's a little bit easier to cross boundaries because PlayStations and Xboxes work in generations. So everyone that has a PS5 might be able to get the most of this. Everyone's got a PS4, probably isn't. So this will always have a bit of taste for some people that'll probably never get around to getting it again or playing it again. But I do believe they will fix it. We've said that since December 2020. Yep, it's an absolute disaster. It's a shit show. It shouldn't have been that bad. They were money grabbing. But I believe that they will fix it, is what we essentially said back then. And I believe they will. I believe they are. I mean, they have done, not entirely, as Bibby said a minute ago, but they will fix it, which was what we believe in. And we are slowly, didn't think it would have been this long, but we are slowly getting there. 6-month countdown coming to the stream for G's birthday. No.
He wouldn't do that.
I absolutely would not do that because next Friday I'm off, which is bank holiday, and that's when is the 6 month. So no, it'll be 6 months. There'll be 5 months and like 27 days countdown because that's just the first stream. Whatever. No. Okay, maybe, probably, definitely, yeah. Looking forward to playing The Witcher 3 again. Such an amazing game. I'm looking forward to trying it. But if you think, do you know what, The Witcher, £5? That's pretty expensive for a Game of the Year level game. I don't want to spend £5 on a game. Well, don't worry. It might not be Game of the Year level, but there are some games that you can bag for free. Air quotes, depending on which ones we're talking about. So for right now, for everyone that has Epic Game Store, so obviously you need a PC for that, you can play BioShock The Collection for free, which is an absolute banger of a game. Baby, please remind me after this show to get that, because guess who didn't get last week's free game either?
I did it as I was pulling the news together, so I wouldn't forget.
I've never played the BioShock games either, despite borrowing it off, I think, Luke for like 2 years and then giving it back. So I've never played the BioShock games.
Raya, I've got a copy of BioShock that you didn't think that you had. That's my impression of Luke, by the way.
It tailed off a little bit, but it was definitely, I could see it. It was in there. Like early on, it was 100% Luke. Yeah. So BioShock The Collection is available for anyone that has a PC. Just get the Epic Game Store. I think you can redeem it through the browser. If not, just get the client installed on your PC. Even if your PC is not good enough to play it, it may be one day. So get it redeemed, and that way you've got it there forever. So it says May the 26th, which was yesterday, to June the 2nd, which is next Thursday, and it'll finish about 4 p.m. UK time. So you've got until about 4 p.m. next Thursday. BioShock The Collection is available for free with the remasters of BioShock and BioShock 2 alongside BioShock Infinite Complete Edition. You could say BioShock The Collection is BioChock, full of games. You shouldn't, but you could. That's beautiful. Great writing. For the fine price of free, it's an excellent opportunity to revisit some plasmid slinging classics. Or if you're a connoisseur, it's an excellent opportunity to invest solely in upgrading the drill in BioShock 2 until you're a freak train of violence. That's my recommendation. So BioShock The Collection is available for free to anyone that has an Epic Games Store account. Oh, just if you play Fortnite now, you played Rocket League recently, you probably got an Epic Games account. Just fucking log in, get your stuff. Do it. Yeah. Do it. But you are watching this on Twitch, which means that there's a good chance that you might have Prime Gaming. You get that free sub and stuff. Well, you also get free games. A lot of people surprisingly don't know that you actually do get free games for being a Prime member, and these are June's free games with Amazon Prime Gaming that have been announced. They includes Far Cry 4, Escape from Monkey Island, and WRCA FIA World Rally Championship. The WRC stands for World Rallycross. There you go. I know my things. Don't know what FIA stands for, so we'll just ignore that one. Nice. Amazon has confirmed the next wave of free titles being made available to Prime Gaming members. Prime Gaming, which is available as part of Amazon Prime subscription, offers members new PC titles to keep and exclusive in-game content every month. June 2022's free games will be Far Cry 4, Escape from Monkey Island, Astrogaster? I almost couldn't say that one. Astro Gasbag, Across the Grooves, Calico, and WRC8 FIA World Rally Championship. The 6 titles will be available to Prime Gaming members beginning on June the 1st. Amazon Prime Gaming will also be offering, and this bit's important because it's pretty relevant to me in the games I play, or at least one of them. In-game content drops. Yeah, exactly. In-game content drops for games including Pokemon Go. I play that, but not so much anymore. Apex Legends, Fall Guys, PUBG Battlegrounds, and Roblox. So if you play any of those games, make sure you check out the Prime Gaming tab on Twitch, because there is some stuff that you can redeem, which will make your life better forever. Well, maybe not
forever,
much, but it'd be nice. Everyone likes free shit. You can join the Asbo squad on PUBG with me and the boys. Let's go. Yeah, I think you've missed that, but still. Some good games in there, babe.
Banging games.
Far Cry 4. I mean, not the best Far Cry game.
I loved that one though. I absolutely loved it, and I'll tell you why. Because it was co-op, and I played a stupid amount of that game in co-op.
Well, you can play it again on PC with someone else.
I will
that's
not.
got Prime,
but I will pick it up.
Escape from Monkey Island, which isn't there, wasn't there just a new one being announced? So if you want to get some of the past before you jump into the future, then you can do that for free. And then obviously the BioShock collection, all 3 BioShock games for those that have Epic Game Store. I am gonna 100% forget that, but I'm gonna try not to.
I will text you later on.
Yes. Okay, I have an alarm set for 4 p.m. every Thursday to remind me to log onto the Epic Store and download the free game. You should do it 4 p.m. on the Wednesday. That way you're like, oh no, actually, because then you might fall into that. You might feel like you've got the snooze button for a day, where it's 4 p.m. on Thursday. It's like all or nothing. So that does make sense.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Dollar Champions came out this past week too, free on PS and Xbox. Dollar Champ? Oh, Roller Champions. I was like, what?
That looks garbage though.
No, we were looking at it in the office. I assume you were joking there, Thomas. And if you're not, then I apologise on your behalf. Escape from Monkey Island is the worst. Monkey Island, by the way, still highly playable. Tam says, "Yeah, we looked at it in the office Tuesday, Monday. Was it last week? No, it was last week, wasn't it? It was last Thursday.
It was last. Was you in the office last week?
Yeah, it was last Thursday when I think I was in on yeah. I know maybe I wasn't. I can't remember.
I'm having 2 weeks ago. Anyway, last time he was in the office before yesterday.
And it was just like, what is this? What is this? Maybe I don't know. Gagod played it yesterday on stream, had half the viewers he normally had. I mean, that's kind of standard anyway, because he is. I know he's not PUBG exclusively, but he's most known for being like a record-breaking PUBG guy. So if he plays Warzone, some of those people will stick around because they know him, they like his personality, and it's kind of like PUBG, but going to roller crap. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Actually, do you know? His audience it's quite long, so I'm gonna have to keep talking over this because this is gonna end up on YouTube. But his audience, that's it. That's what they say. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No chance. Yeah, I'm gonna get my stuff and leave. Oh yeah, no. I'm gonna fuck up out of here.
And right, G, I need to wrap this up.
I was about to say, ironically, that's what we're going to do. Fuck the shit, we are out. So we're going to disappear. Have yourselves a beautiful day. We appreciate everyone that stuck around. Actually, do you need to go? Yeah, you need to go right now. Do you know what? Let me go to me. Because I want to.
I need to run to a nursery.
Yeah. I want to mention the thingy again, so you can just toddle off into the sunset.
Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you guys after Graham has finished his stream tomorrow with the first episode of our Outward Journey. Well, until then, guys, I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And I love you all. And as always, stay frosty from me.
Yeah. Bye, babe. So, Bibby's gone. It's just me. Should we talk about Bib now? Should we just talk about Bib between ourselves? He's not even here. Let's go, yeah. Before we disappear, is there anything else that you want to add, Graham? Well, yes, there is, Graham, actually. We want to add the fact that if you want to get involved with the Scoop, we do bring you this show 5 times a week, each and every single weekday at 10 a.m.-ish. I know it's a little bit more-ish than usual today. It's 5 p.m. now, and we're only just finishing up. You can understand it's quite late. But if you want to get involved with the news, we don't just pull the stories together ourselves. We will pick up the stories that you guys share with us as well. If you see something in the games industry, maybe it's a breaking news story, maybe it's about a game that people don't often speak about and you would like to hear someone speaking about it, do feel free to share it with us. Drop it in the Discord. We have a Slack channel called The Scoop. All we need is a link to the story, plus your thoughts and impressions. If you want to give them, then we will give you our thoughts and impressions on the very next show. At what time on the next show, Graham? Well, that'll be at 10 a.m., Graham. Ish. Okay, it's just me. You get it. Also, a quick reminder: we did start the show off talking about it. That we are asking you for cash because we are absolute scabbers. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not because we're absolute scabbers. We, as you can see on your screen now, want to do a subathon for an event that we are calling We Meet You because we're called I See You. We want to do an event called We Meet You, where we invite you guys to come into our studio. We will put on food. We will put on some drinks. We will buy some merch bits to give away to you. All dependent on how much we can raise for a subathon. So we're having a subathon, and the reason for that is to be a fundraiser to put on a bigger event for you guys. So the subathon is going to be 2 weeks tomorrow, and then if we get enough in the subathon, we will use those funds to put on an event at our studio, which has just been renovated. So it'll be nice and fresh and clean and stuff. So you'll be the first people to come in and have an event in the brand new ICU/Jelly Media studio and office space. That will be on August the 13th if we hit enough subs in the subathon to unlock it. So if you have a Prime, you know anyone else that has a Prime, do feel free to let them know to join us in that stream. That's 2 weeks tomorrow, June the 11th, and if we get enough subs, we will unlock the subathon on August the 13th. All the details of what the sub goals will be tweeted out next week, so keep your eyes out for that. But that's it from us. Have yourselves a beautiful weekend. I will see you at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning-ish for some PUBG. If you want to play some games, you want to go chasing some crates with mates, I will see you then. But until then, stay frosty.